Hey everyone, this is April from Android Authority. I have here two awesome and powerful phones, the LG Optimus G and the Samsung Galaxy S3. Want to check out how these two stack up against each other? Sit back, relax, and enjoy this video review. First, let's take a look at what's most noticeable, the exterior of the phone. The LG Optimus G is a bit smaller than the Galaxy S3. It's a bit shorter, slightly less wider, and a bit thinner than the Galaxy S3. Both phones are nearly the same size and thickness. The differences in size are minimal. As you can see here, the Optimus G is more rectangular than the Galaxy S3. To me, the Optimus G appears more solid and more stocky. The Galaxy S3 has more rounded corners here, which makes it look smooth and fluid. The Optimus G is a bit heavier at 145 grams. The Galaxy S3 weighs only 133 grams. You won't be able to notice the difference just by looking at the two phones, but the Optimus G does look a bit bulkier and is in fact heavier than the Galaxy S3. The screen panels at front are protected by Corning Gorilla Glass. This is really tough glass. It makes the screen resistant to scratches. As you can see, the front face of the Optimus G is all black. You don't see any buttons here. The Galaxy S3, however, has a physical home button. The locations of the hardware buttons on the sides are pretty much the same on the two phones. The power button is right here on the right side, the volume keys are here on the left side. In the case of the Optimus G, the SIM tray is also here on the left side. For the Galaxy S3, the SIM tray is underneath this removable back plate. Also, if you observe more closely, the power buttons are easy to reach with my thumb on both phones. Same thing for the volume down button. But in the Optimus G, I'd need to stretch out my index finger a bit further just to reach the volume up button. Both phones are actually easy to grasp, but I feel that the Galaxy S3 is easier in the hand because of the rounded edges right here. These two phones use durable plastic for their housing. They're not cheap plastic, of course. They're actually sturdy plastic, so they don't easily crack, chip, get scratched with minor bumps. The back surfaces of both phones are smooth and glossy. The Galaxy S3 here has a brushed metal finish underneath the glossy coating. It makes the phone look confident and sturdy. I actually like the Galaxy S3 back cover's simplicity, although I'm not very happy about how it catches fingerprints and smudges easily. Another thing I love about the Galaxy S3 is its removable back plate. It also has a removable battery. Here, let me show you. See this? Here's the SIM slot here, the micro SD card slot here, and the battery, which can be removed and replaced. This battery is lithium-ion and has a capacity of 2100 mAh, which can practically give your phone enough juice for about half a day of talk time on 3G. Now the Optimus G. The design on the back of the Optimus G is a bit more elegant and showy. This part here has diamond patterns underneath a very thin film of glossy Corning Gorilla Glass. You can see the crystal-like pattern if you look at the surface from an angle. This design gives the phone an air of fragility and affluence, but that's just a subjective effect, of course. The effect on you might be different, you know. This back cover is not removable. There are Torx screws down here at the bottom edge. These suggest that the cover could be removable. Regardless, it is not easy to remove. The battery underneath this cover is said to be lithium polymer with a capacity of 2100 mAh for up to about 8 hours of regular use with 4G LTE and quad-core eco mode turned on. LG also flaunts the fact that this battery has more charging cycles, about 300 more charge cycles than a lithium-ion battery with the same capacity. Let's now check out the displays on these two phones. These phones have nearly the same screen diagonal, 4.7 inches on the Optimus G and 4.8 inches on the Galaxy S3, but they differ greatly in resolution, aspect ratio, and pixel density. On the Optimus G, screen resolution is 1280 by 768 pixels, aspect ratio is 15:9, and density is 318 ppi. On the Galaxy S3, resolution is 1280 by 720 pixels, aspect ratio is 16:9, and pixel density is 306 ppi. Because the Optimus G has higher pixel density, its display looks sharper and more crisp. The two phones use different screen technologies. The Optimus G uses True HD in-plane switching LCD with zero-gap technology. This makes the screen slimmer and more responsive to touch input. Samsung uses HD Super AMOLED for added brilliance and vibrance. The display on the Galaxy S3 looks a bit subdued, a bit more saturated, and has a slight bluish tint even if you set the brightness level to maximum. It looks awesome and beautiful, even under direct sunlight. However, I find the display on the Optimus G brighter, sharper, and more readable under natural lighting. Reading text and ebooks will be fantastic on these two phones. Text is crisp and clear, even if you zoom out to use smaller font size. But the Optimus G seems to render sharper and crisper text when you zoom out. On the Galaxy S3, I had to squint a bit to read small text from a PDF file. Although the two phones differ in display technology, they are equally capable of rendering pleasant, high-definition visuals and readable text under various lighting conditions. I find it hard to choose between the two. But if you want sharper, more vibrant, and more realistic display, you might want the Optimus G. For sharp, bright, and more saturated display, go for the Galaxy S3. These two phones are beasts. They are actually two of the most powerful phones out there. The Optimus G has the Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 Pro chipset, 1.5 GHz quad-core Qualcomm Crate processor, and the Adreno 320 graphics processor. It's a very fast and snappy system. The Galaxy S3 too has very powerful processing hardware. It has the Samsung Exynos 4412 chipset, 1.4 GHz quad-core ARM Cortex-A9 processor, and the ARM Mali 400 MP4 graphics processor. The Optimus G's processing muscle is matched with muscular RAM, 2 GB in fact. That's twice what the S3 has. Although 1 GB of RAM seems to be more than enough for multitasking and smooth and no-lag performance on the S3. LG skimps with internal storage though. You'll get only 32 GB, and only that, because there's no way to add more storage through microSD card expansion. Samsung is more generous with storage. The Galaxy S3 has 16, 32, and 64 GB models. Plus, you can add 32 GB more storage through microSD card expansion. We subjected these two phones to benchmark tests, and the Optimus G with its Snapdragon S4 Pro chipset outshone the Galaxy S3 and its Exynos 4412 chipset. Remember to check out our video of the benchmarks. The sheer amount of megapixels on the Optimus G's camera blows the Galaxy S3's camera out of the water. But that's as far as numbers are concerned. Is the Optimus G's camera superior to the Galaxy S3's camera? Generally, no. This once a case of more is not necessarily better. The Galaxy S3's camera actually has less shutter lag, captures more detail, and works well in low light situations compared to the Optimus G. The Optimus G has a 1 or 2 second lag before saving the photo to the phone's gallery. Both the Galaxy S3 and the Optimus G can record 1080p Full HD videos using the back camera and 720p HD using the front camera. Indoor videos by the Optimus G's front camera are very noisy and very dark, but outdoor videos with ample light are quite good. With or without flash, indoor photos by the Galaxy S3 look brighter and clearer, though outdoor shots by the Optimus G capture richer, sharper, and more vibrant colors. They're also less noisy, but more smudged and less detailed compared to the Galaxy S3's outdoor shots. Let's talk a bit about media playback quality on these two phones. The Galaxy S3's loudspeaker has louder volume and also seems to have better texture and tone quality. The loudspeaker on the Optimus G sounds okay, but LG could have done better. Samsung gave the S3 stereo loudspeakers. LG skimped with mono loudspeakers. Audio through headphones on the Optimus G, though, sound really pleasant because of Dolby Mobile sound technology. The colors on videos are definitely more realistic and less saturated on the Optimus G. Video colors are rich and solid on the Galaxy S3, but they may overwhelm you if you aren't fond of dark hues. Playback for both phones is smooth and crisp. High-definition YouTube videos and those played by the stock video player aren't choppy at all. If you want to watch videos on the Optimus G, plug in those headphones. The sound will be much better than if you used the loudspeaker. As for the software, both phones come with Android 4.0.4 Ice Cream Sandwich. These two phones are definitely capable of Android 4.1.2 Jelly Bean. Samsung has already started sending Jelly Bean to the Galaxy S3. LG, however, plans to upgrade the Optimus G to Jelly Bean in December. The Galaxy S3 uses Samsung's own skin and UI known as TouchWiz 5. The Optimus G uses LG's own Optimus UI 3.0. Both are very awesome, are visually appealing, and employ nature themes. The Optimus G is generally snappier all throughout. I'm not surprised though, this is quad-core Snapdragon S4 Pro. See how snappy the transitions and animations are. Moving between screens is super smooth. There's hardly any jitter. The Galaxy S3 is snappy too, but there's some slight lag in some areas. The lag is noticeable in the transitions in the app drawer. Let me talk a bit about some of the software features. The Optimus G has a note-taking app called Memo. It lets you jot down notes while you're taking a call, browsing, or watching a video without having to switch between apps. The Galaxy S3 has a similar feature known as S-Memo. You can jot down notes with your fingertip, but you'll have to switch between apps. I find the Optimus G's note-taking feature more interesting because it instantly captures a screenshot and lets you write notes on it. LG also attempted to put some multitasking ability on the Optimus G, and I think it did a good job. The feature is known as Q-Slide. This lets you overlay one app over another. You can adjust the opacity of the app underneath to make it more visible or less visible. The Galaxy S3 doesn't have anything resembling such function, but it has something that seems close enough: pop-up play, which lets you view a video in a pop-up window. Sadly, this is only for videos. It can't make videos translucent and isn't an overlay. Another handy feature on both phones is multiple image capture. LG implements it with a time machine camera feature, which lets you capture several images right before you click the shutter. So if your subject blinks when you press the shutter, you can select from pre-captured backups. Samsung implements a similar feature with burst mode, which lets you capture several successive shots. Great for capturing subjects in motion. Either way, such feature allows you to select the perfect frame from a set of images. Both phones are very customizable too. Though the Galaxy S3 seems to have more customizable areas than the Optimus G, but there's one customization option that I particularly liked in the Optimus G, the icon personalizer. This basically lets you change your app icons with other icons or with images from the gallery. The two phones may have Android 4.0.4 Ice Cream Sandwich, but that's all that they share in common. They look different and behave differently, thanks to Samsung and LG's custom skins, custom UIs, and custom software. Yet, despite differing ways, both phones have software features intended to make mobile phone life easier for you. Let me wrap up this video review by telling you what I loved most about each phone. In the case of the Optimus G, I love its sharp, crisp, and vibrant display. I love the fire breathing out of the Snapdragon S4 Pro, the 2 GB of RAM, the Q-Slider multitasking overlay feature, and the overall smoothness and performance of the phone. In the case of the Galaxy S3, I love its simple but confident outward appearance, its replaceable battery and back cover, its micro SD card slot, its snappy performance despite having only 1 GB of RAM, and the fact that its 8-megapixel camera trumps the Optimus G's 13-megapixel shooter. But that's just me. What about you? Samsung Galaxy S3 or LG Optimus G? Let us know by leaving your comments. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is April from AndroidAuthority.com. Thanks for watching. May the light side of the Android Force be with you.